Thank you for stopping by Ballistic Barbecue. On this video, I'm going to be attempting to replicate the big tasty burger from McDonald's. And while I'm thinking about it, because I'm old, I forget things, do yourself a favor, do me a big favor. Check out my friend Chef Johnny's channel, Texas Style Cuisine, totally legit Texas barbecue, just Texas cooking. Believe me, you will not regret it. I'll have the link down below and another link at the end of this video. Let's get going. All right, first off, I've had a bunch of requests to try and copycat this burger. Little clarification for some of you guys. This is the Big Tasty, not the Big and Tasty. The Big and Tasty is here in the US, North America. The Big Tasty is being served throughout Europe, Eastern Europe, Australia, and the Middle East. And one of the signature components of this burger is the sauce. It's got a smoky component to it. Now, I've never had this burger, so I'm relying on watching review videos, watching other copycat recipes, seeing what they did, what I believed is right, what they did, what I believe is wrong. And a big help was actually reading the nutritional facts, the ingredients list on the McDonald's in the UK's website. And they list the ingredients, and you're able to kind of read between the lines, some of the encrypting, I guess. And I think I did pretty well on this sauce. I'd be willing to bet, actually. So what I think it is, it's kind of a twist on the Big Mac sauce. And so I have, I think, a really good Big Mac sauce recipe, and I did some modifications to that. First modification is I cut the amount of mayo in half. So this is 1/2 cup of mayo. Then I added sour cream. I was kind of shocked to see that none of the recipes I saw, the copycat recipes, had sour cream in it, and it's listed prominently on McDonald's list of ingredients. So I had 1/2 cup of sour cream here. The mayo, by the way, that's whole egg mayo. Now I have 1 tablespoon of prepared yellow mustard. This is American style yellow mustard. I have here 1 teaspoon of distilled white vinegar, 1 teaspoon onion powder. This is onion powder, not onion salt. 1 teaspoon garlic powder, again powder. Please don't use salt. 1 teaspoon paprika. It's going to give it that really cool color that many think is like Thousand Island or Russian. It's not. 3 teaspoons of sweet relish, sweet pickle relish. 2 teaspoons white granulated sugar. Get this mixed up. All right, now we're going to add that smoky element, and I have here some liquid smoke. I made this. If you want to see the video, I'll have a link down below. A little goes a long way. I played around with this recipe last night, and I found that 1/2 teaspoon is perfect. So 1/2 teaspoon of liquid smoke. All right, you want to make sure you get this really well mixed. Make sure all the streaks are out of the bowl. Cover it, toss it in the fridge. You want to let this set for a few hours. It allows the flavors to meld, all the seasonings to kind of melt and blend into each other. Then you end up with a really great sauce. And the sauce I'm actually going to be using on the burger today is sauce I made last night. And it's fantastic. Like I said, perfect amount of smoke and just a nice smoky flavor. It's a good sauce. So let's get to making that patty now. Okay, you guys have seen me use these rings before. I just really like the way the patties come out when I use one of these. They're called cutting rings, and you can buy these at any kitchen supply store like Sur La Table, craft stores. They'll be in the bakery, the pastry section, or online. Here's the beef that I'm using. This is a blend I ground myself. It's top round and chuck, and basically I just looked for some really nice fat content. So I probably have close to an 80-20 here, maybe a little more. If you aren't grinding your own meat, 80-20, and I used a small die on my grinder. and I'm not weighing the meat. I'm just basically going off of looks. Here, the Big Tasty is a fairly thick patty by McDonald's standards, and that's what I'm kind of going for. It's not like a giant thick patty though. Again, when you're packing these, don't overly pack it. You start mushing it up, that's where you're going to get into those problems like the patty swelling up on you and everything. I've said it a billion times. If you pack the patty correctly, you won't need to put that dimple in the back. That's only needed if you've overworked the meat. Okay, so I've filled this ring about halfway up, and I'm thinking that looks about right. Let's go ahead and remove this. There we go. Now, you'll end up with these little edges. I just kind of like to tamp those down a little bit. This is parchment paper. There we go. Easy. I'll place this in the fridge and let it chill up. You want the meat to kind of, be nice and cool, hamburger meat, when it hits the grill. Unlike a steak, that way it'll hold together and allow the sear to kind of bind everything. So, next step is cooking this bad boy. Meet you guys outside. All right, we have the Weber fired up today with the Ballistic griddle on top. And just a reminder for those of you who have purchased one of these or may be thinking about buying one, a little charcoal goes a long way, and you just want it on the outside edge here. You don't want to load it up with a bunch of charcoal. This thing is very heat efficient, and if you overload it, it's stainless steel, it can flex on you. Now that being said, if it does flex, just leave it alone, just continue your cook. It'll flatten out again, but you do not want to overload this thing with charcoal. So, first thing we are going to do is toast these sesame seed buns. There we go, just a nice light toast, that's all we want. All right, that McDonald's UK website says that they season the beef patty with a little salt and pepper after it's cooked. I'm going to season it with a little salt before it cooks, as it's cooking, and then we'll add a little pepper after it's done. I really like salt cooking in with the meat. It makes it just a nice crust. Just a little kosher salt. And a little bit more kosher salt. All right, the color's coming a little more than halfway up the side of the patty. We're getting some moisture appearing on the top of the patty. It's time to flip. Again, this is a fast food burger. We're not going for that, medium rare doneness here. Now this burger will have cheese on it, but McDonald's doesn't put their cheese on while they're cooking. They do it as they're building the burger. So we're going to stick with their program. All right, the patty's done. As I said, I'm going to season it with just a little bit of pepper here. Now let's go ahead and build this Big Tasty. First thing I'm going to do is put some of that Big Tasty sauce on the top bun. Set that aside. Now many people think that the Big Tasty has regular Swiss cheese on it. It's actually a blend. It's kind of like an American cheese, but instead of using cheddar, they're using Emmental Swiss cheese. Instead of making this cheese, I'm using regular old Swiss cheese, and this will make for a really good burger anyway. So lay that down in the bottom bun. Let's get that patty on. More cheese on top. 2 slices of tomato. So they're using iceberg lettuce. It's not like really finely shredded. It's more of kind of a rough chop. So some iceberg lettuce. Then again, some roughly chopped onion. Crown this bad boy. And there we have it, the Big Tasty. Looks big, looks tasty. Let's give this a try. I mean, it's a simple burger, but I really like the way it looks. It's just sort of almost that classic American diner kind of a burger. Again, that sauce, you can smell the hickory smoke. Let's give this a try. I'll be honest with you, my choice would have been with a cheddar or an American cheese rather than the Swiss. I like Swiss in combination with other cheeses on burgers, but standing alone, it's just, you know, has that strong Swiss cheese flavor. I love Swiss cheese, but again, on a burger, I'm more of a cheddar, like a, you know, jack cheese, Colby kind of a guy. Anyway, thank you guys again for yet another fun suggested burger recipe. For me, this was really cool because McDonald's is such an American icon, and to think that we don't even have this as a menu option it just made it kind of cool for me to do. And again, I hope I nailed that sauce. I don't know. I mean, I did the best I could with the resources that I had at hand, but that being said, that's a really good sauce, so it's definitely worth making, and I'll make it again. I have another McDonald's recipe actually coming from Japan that I'm going to try to get done within the next few weeks. Really looking forward to doing this one. Again, something we don't see on the menus out here in the United States. So keep the suggestions rolling in, guys. Keep watching. If you haven't subbed, please sub, ring the bell so you get notifications. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.